doing. She knows exactly how to help you guys when it comes to that. She's going to be here to answer your questions. She's going to tell you a little bit about her process, what you need to be qualified for her process, and things like that. And then after that, she'll give you guys the floor for any questions that you may have. She's probably not going to answer a lot of personal credit, like what you got going on with your current situation and your credit profile questions. But when it has to do with funding and things like that, trade lines, all that kind of game, she will put you guys up on it. When you guys running through the credit process, this is your next stop. So as soon as you're structured into a profile where a lender can't tell you no, I'm gonna send you right through the door to none other than Tay Peasy. That's her nickname. I'll let her introduce her real government, all that if she wants to do it. But Tay Peasy, I appreciate you for joining us. I appreciate you for coming to speak to our audience. Man, I'll give you the floor. Do your thing. Shoot me a text if I'm not here. If you need something called on, but this is your spotlight, your floor. Tell them exactly what you do, how your process works, and man, without further ado.
All right, I appreciate you. Thank you for having me. Let me just go ahead and start to share my screen though for you guys. Let me know, can y'all see my screen? Can you see my screen?
No, not yet.
All right, my fault. Share screen. What about now?
Yes.
All right. All right, so yeah, like he said, basically, I'm here to talk to you guys about funding and all the qualifications and things that you need to get funding. I'm just trying to get it in the right mode. I'm sorry. All right, there we go. All right, so like he said, my name is Tay Peasy on Instagram. My real name is Shantae. Basically, like he said, I'm here to introduce you guys about the business and personal funding. Basically, I'm an entrepreneur. I do credit repair. I do funding, Airbnb, Turo, all that good stuff. That's a little bit about me. I'm also based in Atlanta. I've been doing credit and funding for about 5 years now. So basically, I just wanted to start out, this is going to be really brief, but I just wanted to start out and talk about what your personal credit needs to be in order to get business funding. I mean, I can help with personal and business, but I really like to focus on business funding because you get higher limits and just better approval odds when it's business. But you do need to make sure your personal credit is structured exactly like this or like similar. You want to have like 100% on-time payments, very low utilization. I know most people tell you they want it under 30%, but we really like to keep it like under like 10%, 6%, something like that. Also, you want to have zero derogatory remarks. A lot of people, they'll say, oh, can I still get funding? I have one or two collections. The answer is no. You really want to make sure you have zero derogatory remarks. You also want to make sure that your history is there as well. You want to make sure you have at least 5+ years of history. And if you don't have that, we could add trade lines with history and age on them to make you have that history on there. You also want to make sure you have a mixture of credit. And you also want to have at least I say 6+ total accounts. You want to have like revolving loans, installment, things like that. I'm sorry, somebody said something. All right, let me keep going. I'm sorry. So yeah, you want to make sure you have a mixture of credit on your profile. Not just like a credit card or something like that. You want to make sure you have like maybe a student loan, a car loan, credit cards, just a mixture of different things. And also you want to make sure you have not many hard inquiries. Because banks will deny you if you have like a lot of inquiries because it makes them it makes you look thirsty. It makes you look like you're desperate for money and that they won't lend to you if you have too many inquiries. But if you do have a lot of inquiries, we can get those off, or Trevor with his credit program can help get those off. So yeah, just make sure your profile looks something like this, and if it doesn't, we can help you get it there. All right. As far as I'm sorry, one second. All right, as far as the business, on the business side. So like I said, we can get personal and business, but we really like to stay on the business side. So you want to make sure that you have a business, your business structured correctly. Your LLC, a good business name, like a broad name. Make sure you don't want to have like a name that has like credit repair or trucking in the name. You want to make sure that it's like a broad name. Like my name, my business name is Ambitious Legacy. So that could be like they don't know what I do. So when I go to try to get funding, it just says Ambitious Legacy, and they don't know if I do credit repair funding. They don't know nothing what I do. So just make sure that you have a broad name. You want to make sure you have a business address as well. You don't really want to use your personal, your home address. You want to make sure you have like a business address or like a kind of not a PO box, but something like that. And I could tell you where to go to get that as well. Excuse me. Make sure you get your EIN number. That is free on the Secretary of State website. Also, you want to make sure you have a business phone, business website, email, and also a business checking and savings account is usually ideal, what you want to have. So if your business is structured correctly, definitely you'll be able to get business structured correctly and your personal credit structured correctly. You'll be able to get minimum 50,000, all the way up to 350,000, just depending on your situation. Oops. All right. I really just talked about why business credit is important. So basically, you want to building business credit is a very crucial part of growing a company as an independent professional. A good business credit score can give you the chance to acquire financing more easily and increase your company's value and protect your personal credit. So when we get you business credit, it's not reporting to your personal credit. So you can max out the whole business credit card or the business loan, and it's not going to like drop your credit score. But if you do that on the personal side, and you say you max out your personal credit card, your score is going to drop tremendously. It's easier to obtain business credit as well. And you can get it like more quickly as well, just if you have those documents. And we also have like personal bankers that we work with. So if you was to go to try to get a business credit card, right? And you don't have like an inside connect, like say you go to Chase right now with a good credit score and everything, you might get approved for, let's say 10 to 20,000. But with me, I have like personal bankers that they push the applications through. So I might say, hey, Trevor wants 50,000, nothing less. And they'll be like, okay. And they'll go, the banker will personally send that app to the underwriters and get you approved. So that's the important part about business credit, is that it is much higher limits, and we have to connect on the business side. And this is just one of the questionnaires that my banker sends me. So basically, this is what he would ask for. First name, sorry, I gotta let somebody in. So yeah, this is basically a questionnaire that came directly from one of my bank plugs. So basically he would ask for this information. I will send you this, like send me all this information back. First name, last name, email, phone number, business name, the NAIC code. That's basically what your business is structured under. Like mine is structured under business consulting. Even though I do credit repair, funding, and all of that, I have it listed under consulting, a consulting business, because it's not high risk. And we can talk more about high risk and all of that as well. But yeah, he would basically ask these questions right here. As long as you have this information, he can, I'll send it over to him. He'll check it out and he'll push the app through for you. Let me just keep going. You guys can feel free to screenshot or anything if you want. All right. Oh, so also wanted to talk a little bit about business lines of credit. So we do try to get mainly business credit cards because we try to keep it with 0% interest. But sometimes people don't want business credit cards for some reason. So we also can get you business lines of credit. It's just with the business lines of credit, if you haven't been in, usually if you haven't been in business for at least 2+ years, you won't qualify. I mean, it is some banks that you can qualify for, that you don't have to have a business for 2 years, but usually you have to have been in business for at least 2+ years. But business lines of credit is also a good way to get funding. But like I said, we try to get 0% interest credit cards for you so that you'll have at least 12 to 15 months with 0% interest. So basically, if you get a $50,000 credit card, and you wanted to say do an Airbnb and you wanted to spend 20,000 on the card, you have a whole 12 to 15 months just to pay back the $20,000 that you used. And I'm sorry, that let somebody else. You would have a whole 12 to 15 months to pay back only the 20,000 that you used with no interest. So that's basically why we try to persuade our clients to go for the credit cards instead of the lines of credit. But lines of credit, we still can get the interest rate pretty low, but you still will have an interest rate. But yeah, so we try to stay on the business credit cards. All right, so this is just a list of a few business credit cards with 0% interest, and some of the banks that we try to go to get the 0% interest. So yeah, U.S. Bank, Chase, Bank of America, American Express, Barclays, U.S. Bank, Capital One. All of these are good, really good cards, and they have 0% interest. So that's what we try to go for. It just makes more sense. Like, who wants to spend more money when they don't have to? It's just like somebody giving you a loan and you don't owe any interest for a whole year. Like, it's just like a no-brainer. So this would be the requirements for the business credit. If you wanted to start applying and getting everything going, you want to have at least a 680 credit score across all 3 bureaus. At least 2 primary credit cards. Primary meaning like they're your credit cards, not authorized users or anything like that. They're yours. You want to make sure those credit cards that you do have at least a $2,000 limit minimum, and you also want to make sure your utilization is under 15%. And I already said most of this, but you want to make sure you have no late payments, no bankruptcies, no derogatory remarks, no charge-offs, and under 6 inquiries. But this is the basic requirements. And it's really simple and really easy. This is all you would need to have. Like I said, make sure your business is structured correctly, credit score is good, no derogatories, things like that. And minimum 50,000 is what we can get you. I got a question, but we'll get to the questions in a minute. And this is just a few of approvals that I've gotten my clients. Chase is really the biggest bank that we use because they really give out the bag. You can get $150,000 with Chase with no docs. So you don't have to show any proof of income, any tax returns, anything. You just literally use your personal credit score and your business setup, and they'll literally give you the bag. But this is just a few of my results and receipts. GM Financial got my client 40,000. Navy Federal is also really good if you have decent credit. And like I said, Chase is really the big one that we go for. But other than that, that's pretty much the basics of what I offer as far as as far as funding. And if you guys have any questions, or Trevor, you have anything you want to say, but I see a few hands raised as well. If you want me to get to them.
I have, if you don't mind, on the last slide, you had $2,000 as a limit, and I just wanted to know if that was 2,000 card or 2,000 across the board for the personal.
$2,000 on one card.
Okay, got you.
But if you don't have the 2,000 on one card, it's not like that's not like a big red flag. It just looks better if you do. It just looks better to the banks if they could see that you've been managing some money on a credit card.
Got you. Do you mind going back to the last slide? I think it was a slide right before this.
Yeah, this one?
Yeah, right there. So 2,000 limited. Okay, yeah. So 50% utilization on each card, pretty much.
Like your total credit profile, yeah, at least under 15%.
Right. Got you. Okay, thank you.
Keep in mind, I'm sorry to cut you off, Chris. I see you got a question too. Keep in mind, but these are for the, like, this is perfect. Like if you got it just like this, you're gonna get the max amount. Yeah. We're not saying that if you don't have 2 credit cards, you're not gonna get something. She's gonna go get a bag for you regardless. But when we show, we only shoot for the best, right? So we're shooting for, hey, I don't want a reason for somebody to say no. I don't want a reason for them to come back and instead of giving me 20, give me 10. You know what I mean? We want it to be in the best profile possible.
Right.
Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
had two questions. Oh, damn, I forgot what the first one was. I know you said something about having your business structured correctly. Now what exactly, just to be sure, what exactly, how does it have to be structured? Like in short.
So you
Hold
want
on, hold on, Tay Peasy. I might so in the group, if you followed the LLC structure training, you're good. I give the game away. So I give it to you. I'll let her go into detail and explain, but if you've already bought the LLC and you followed that training that I provided in the school, you're gonna be
Yeah.
solid. You're solid. But but I'm still gonna let her explain it and the reason why I told y'all to do it that way and for the business and all that. I'm gonna let her explain why. But yes, you are good, Chris.
Okay. Okay.
So this is what I mean by structured correctly. Like I said earlier, your business name, like you want to make sure it's broad. You don't want to say trucking or real estate or credit repair. You want to make sure it's broad. You want to make sure you're not using your home address. You want to have a real business address, like a virtual office works as well. And you want to make sure like the address and everything match up. Like some people, like when you go get your business bank account, like some people will have their business, their LLC documents with their home address, and then they'll have their business bank account with the virtual address. Like everything has to match up like to a T for it to be structured correctly. So make sure every document has the same business address. Make sure it's a broad name. Make sure you have your EIN number, your NAIC code. I'm sure you guys know what that is. Do you guys know what that is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to make sure that all of that is just good. But that's what I mean by structured correctly.
Okay. Okay. And I think my second question, let me think. It'll come back to me. I can't remember right now.
All right. Any other questions or anything? Oh, can you get funding from more than one place at one time? How often can you get funding? Yes, you can definitely get funding from more than one place at one time. So that's basically how we try to do it. We try to go for the banks that pull from Experian. It's basically called credit card stacking, but we'll try to go for all the banks that pull from Experian. We'll go and then we'll go to Equifax, all the banks that pull from them, and then TransUnion, all the banks pull from them. How often can you get funding? You can get funding really as much as you want, but we would try to go for the first round of funding with like the way that I just said, like Experian and Equifax TransUnion. And then we would, like I said, we're going to go on the business side, and then we would go back, delete those inquiries, so that's because the inquiries are going to go to your personal credit. We'll get those deleted, and then we'll go again for another round. And also, if you have more than one LLC, that also can help you get a bigger bag. Because say we go to Chase and get 50,000 or 150,000 with that LLC, we can go with another LLC and get the same 150,000 from Chase again because it's two separate businesses. So it's really no limit to funding. It's just about how much you want and what you're going to do with it, really. Any other questions?
Yeah. So that first round, like how typically how long does that take? Like that whole total process of getting, like once you got your LLC set up, your business bank account, um, what's next? Like how long does that take getting funding?
If you got everything set up correctly, everything's good, we could get you funded in like 7 days. It could be less, honestly, and it also just depends how much you want. But I had a girl that she only wanted 100,000. So we went and got 2 Chase credit cards and she got approved in 2 days. So that only took like 48 hours. But everybody's situation is different, just depending on where you are, your credit, your business structure. Like it just depends really. But I would say 7 days, 7 to 14 days.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. We got. I'm trying to get funded. I thought I was in the process. I know I've been talking with Kane and through the Discord. I'm trying to figure out what I'm waiting on. But okay. 7.
Yeah, so it's pretty quick if you got everything in order.
Yeah, I think we got well, Chris, I don't like to put people's business out, but you're involved in, we got about 80 y'all we're about to send to her. I just didn't want to do anything premeditated without her speaking to you guys and setting out some clear understandings, because we got other funders, but I just feel like this is better for my community. It's better for her. We're tied in. If I can cut the big heads out and run with the small business owners like myself and Miss Tay Peasy, then that's what I'm gonna do. It's better for the culture, everything overall as a whole. So, but now that she has spoke to y'all, don't be surprised if tomorrow, that whole process works for you, Mr. Chris.
Right.
Appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
Hey, PZ, I got a question for you. Have you worked with any clients that have a TIN as opposed to a social?
No,
No. Okay.
I haven't.
Okay. And another question, as far as the business, setting up the 680 score, I'm assuming you're talking about the Paydex score, right?
Personal credit score.
Oh, 680 personal score. Okay.
Yeah, the
So,
Paydex. No, I'm sorry. The Paydex is not really going. I mean, yeah, it's not really going to matter if your personal credit is A1, like I showed. You don't like. That's all you really need.
wow.
Yeah, and then the Paydex, that'll just like once you go to get the funding and you get the credit cards and all that, the Paydex, that'll build on its own, but you don't really need that. As long as that personal is right, that's really the key to it.
Or okay. Okay. Because my question was how to establish if someone doesn't have like a DMB score, and they try to go the route of getting what's it called?
Business.
Like business, yeah, like Quill and Granger. What are these things called again?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They're called vendor accounts.
Right.
So you're saying can you get
Vendor account, right.
without using the personal credit and only using like your business?
Like I'm thinking like establishing that because that's important, right? But what you're saying is pretty much if the personal is A1, we could use the personal to get the business side funded. We're taking it off the personal and then we're running up the bag, like doing that, like rinse, wash, repeat.
Right.
Because then we're getting it off the personal account, right?
It's still business. It's just that they're looking at your personal credit. They're gonna say like, okay, let me check out his personal credit. Has he paid back Wells Fargo? Have he paid back Chase? Has he paid all his bills and everything on the personal side? If the answer is no, they're gonna be like, why would we give you 100,000 on the business side if you haven't even paid your bills on the personal side? But if they look at it and say, oh, he done paid off cars, credit cards, student loans, I'll give him 100,000 on the business side because he's trustworthy on the personal side.
Right.
So the way to get business credit without using your personal, like you said, I feel like personally is a waste of time with the Uline, the Granger, and all that. You could buy, like that's a waste of time when you could bypass all that, fix your personal credit, and go get the bag. On the business side, still, like it's like don't
if I
skip.
start up an LLC, it doesn't have to be 2 years.
No, you could have made a LLC today, and we could get you 100,000 tomorrow with Chase. Well, with anybody, but yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. But the way that you're talking about, they usually want to see that your business makes like a lot of money. If you don't want to use your social and everything, they want to see like, let me check out his business credit. I mean, his business bank account. Is he got money? Does he have money coming in and out all the time? 100,000. Like they want to see money like coming in and out. Like you're not just gonna go with bad credit and say I want 100,000 on the business side. It just doesn't work that way.
Right.
But yeah,
Appreciate it.
no problem. Any other questions?
Yeah,
Everybody good?
one question. So with the business credit card, you said those ones you had 0 interest. You got 12 months to make to pay the whole thing off, right? Is that what it is, or make a payment?
Yeah. So So you still got to make a payment each month. You might have a minimum payment of maybe $100, $200. But say you max the whole 20,000 out. You got a whole 12 months to 15 months to pay the whole 20,000 back, but you still do have a monthly payment each month.
Gotcha. Okay. And then what about the business line of credit? How does that work?
So that's like an installment loan. So you still gonna have a monthly payment each month on that. But with the business, I mean, with the line of credit, if you say they give you $100,000 line of credit, that whole 100,000 is getting deposited into your bank account, the whole 100,000, and then you'll pay back the monthly payment on that. So it might be 500 a month that you're paying back.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, the goal is to create the income. You create the business and the wealth off of obviously the credit, and then you use that business money to pay back that credit. What you was referring to a minute ago with the 12 months, there's always a play to there's a play to the 12 months. It's just the 12 months, no interest. So to be honest, man, we got plays. I know Tay Peasy knows them too. We ain't nothing but a balanced transfer. I can keep you at 0% interest for the rest of your life. Really just got to have your credit. As long as your credit stays in line, your credit is in line. So you get that first Chase card, you know what I mean? 0% interest. If you're one of those people that are like, damn, I'm really pressed on paying 18% interest after the first year. Okay, balance transfer it to a 0% interest card at Wells Fargo. It doesn't matter. If interest is your play, then that's how you play the game. I don't care about interest because I just upcharge my whatever I'm selling. Somebody else gonna pay the interest anyway. And that's the goal about having the assets. You know what I mean? You can create all this.
Yeah, and we know how to take the money off the credit cards too if you need the money like off the cards, and it'll still zero interest.
Facts. You can get it right to your bank.
Yeah, I do remember you talking about that, Trevor.
Yeah. So yeah, the goal is just to get the bag, and we'll figure out how to get it off there and all that after we get the bag, and have a plan for the bag too. So like, I mean, you do what you want, but I tell my clients, like, if you want 100,000, like, you know what you're gonna do with this money, or you just want it to just sit there, like, have a play for your money. But any other questions?
Yes, not Tay Peasy. I'll let you do your outro. I'm gonna hop off here. I'm gonna call you after the call and stuff though.
Okay. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you, Trevor, for allowing me on the call and everything. But I'm looking forward to tapping in with all of y'all and getting y'all a bag.
Oh yeah, let's get it.
But all right, yeah, that's it for me.
I appreciate y'all.
All right.
Y'all tap in with her in the Skool platform if you need her. That's where she at.
On my Instagram too.
Tay Peasy on Instagram.
Yeah.
Tay Peasy, okay. I appreciate you.
All right, thank y'all.
Appreciate you. Have a good night.
You too.